Welcome, seekers of the uncanny, to a special edition of Faceless Folkloria Night, when love and horror converge on Valentine's Day. Tonight, we peel back the veil on true, disturbing events that occurred on the day meant for romance. These are not mere urban legends, but chilling accounts drawn from true crime files, eyewitness testimonies, and local lore. Dim the lights, secure your seat, and prepare to journey into a Valentine's Day where passion turns to terror and devotion hides a dark secret. Story 1. The Crimson Bouquet. Our first tale comes from a mid-sized city where a series of brutal murders shocked the community. Dubbed the Crimson Bouquet Killer, this elusive murderer struck exclusively on Valentine's Day. According to police files and witness accounts, each victim was found clutching a single red roseate's petals stained with blood. One chilly the 14th of February, the body of a prominent local businessman was discovered in a narrow alley behind his office building. The killer's signature? A freshly cut red rose left atop his chest. Over the next several years, on successive Valentine's Days, similar murders occurred. The victims, each connected in some way to secretive personal relationships, were found in deserted parking lots or dark stairwells, always with that one rose as a calling card. Detective Miranda Alvarez, who worked tirelessly on the case, later revealed in interviews that the killer's precision was unnerving. It was as if he believed he was punishing those who betrayed love, she said. Some even claimed that the killer left cryptic notices, a mixture of poetry and curses that hinted at a warped ideology where love itself had become a crime. Despite several promising leads, the case remains officially unsolved, and the legend of the Crimson Bouquet continues to haunt every Valentine's Day, a macabre reminder that love can sometimes be fatal. Story 2. The Forgotten Valentine. In a quiet suburb, a series of inexplicable events unfolded on Valentine's Day that defied explanation. Evelyn Carter, a local schoolteacher, began receiving ornate love letters weeks before the holiday. The letters were penned in an elegant hand and sealed with a wax crest, yet no one knew who her secret admirer might be. On Valentine's Day itself, Evelyn's curiosity turned to terror. While preparing for a small celebration at her family's old mansion, she discovered a hidden drawer in an antique desk. Inside were more letters that described intimate details of a long-dead lover and chronicled the slow decay of a forbidden romance. Shockingly, the handwriting was identical to the letters she had received. Investigators later learned that the mansion had once belonged to a reclusive man whose tragic romance ended in a mysterious disappearance. Some locals believe that his spirit, tunable to move on from his doomed love, has been using the letters as a means to reach out, to rewrite his lost story. In the final moments of that fateful Valentine's Day, Evelyn reported hearing soft whispers and a melancholic lullaby echoing through the empty halls of the mansion. Whether it was the ghost of a lover or a deranged mind playing tricks, the truth remains obscured by the passage of time and sorrow. Evelyn now lives in fear each the 14th of February, knowing that some messages from the past should never be reopened. Story 3. The Midnight Heartbreaker. In a small town gripped by fear, a serial killer earned the moniker the Midnight Heartbreaker by targeting couples on Valentine's Day. Over a span of several years, an unknown assailant would ambush lovers parked in secluded spots along winding country roads. In each case, the victims were found brutally mutilated, macabre tableau arranged to mimic the broken shards of a shattered heart. On one particularly cold Valentine's night, local authorities responded to a distress call from a young couple whose car had broken down on a lonely stretch of road. What began as a routine rescue soon turned into a nightmare. The couple was found with their vehicle abandoned, their bodies posed as if in a final, twisted embrace. Witnesses later recalled seeing a lone figure disappearing into the shadows moments before the police arrived, leaving behind an overwhelming stench of decay and the faint odor of roses. The brutality and precision of these attacks baffled investigators. In interviews, survivors of earlier encounters spoke of a man with a chilling Kamnessa figure who exuded both a morbid tenderness and an inhuman ruthlessness. Although some suspects were arrested over the years, concrete evidence always seemed to vanish, leaving the case open and the legend of the Midnight Heartbreaker alive. To this day, each Valentine's Day, the town holds its breath, haunted by the possibility that the killer may yet strike again. Story 4. The Valentine's Day Massacre. History bears witness to moments when even the day of love becomes a stage for unspeakable horror. On the 14th of February, 1929, Chicago was rocked by what came to be known as the Valentine's Day Massacre. In a violent display of gangland warfare, rival mobsters executed a brutal attack that claimed the lives of several prominent figures in a single, horrifying evening. Though often recounted as a tale of organized crime, many accounts from that night carry an almost supernatural chill. Survivors spoke of the streets becoming a labyrinth of terror where the sounds of machine guns and anguished cries were punctuated by an eerie silence in the moments immediately following the violence. Some even claimed that the bloodshed cast a curse over the city, with unexplained deaths and disappearances reported in the weeks that followed. While modern historians have pieced together the sequence of events through police reports and eyewitness testimony, the atmosphere of that fateful night still lingers in Chicago's dark corners. For those who study the massacre, it remains a grim reminder that even on a day celebrated for romance, the lure of power and the depths of human cruelty can transform the most hallowed of occasions into a living nightmare. Story 5. The Haunted Cupid. In a forgotten corner of an old European town stands a statue known as the Haunted Cupid. Legend has it that on Valentine's Day, this crumbling effigie, a symbol of love, becomes the focal point of dark, inexplicable occurrences. Local residents have long recounted a series of bizarre events. On one Valentine's Day, a group of teenagers dared each other to gather around the statue at midnight. As the clock struck 12, they heard an unearthly wail emanate from the bow of Cupid. One by one, those present experienced vivid, disturbing visions, shadowy figures accusing them of broken promises and unfulfilled love, and whispers that foretold tragic fates if old wounds were not healed. Some claim that the curse of the haunted Cupid dates back centuries. An ill-fated love affair between a noblewoman and a commoner ended in betrayal and bloodshed, and the spirit of the jilted lover is said to have cursed the monument. Every Valentine's Day since, the air around the statue grows heavy with despair, and unexplained phenomena flashes of light. Sudden gusts of freezing wind have been reported by passers-by. Though modern scientists attribute the occurrences to natural atmospheric conditions and the power of suggestion, many in the town remain convinced that the haunted Cupid is a harbinger of misfortune, a grim reminder that even symbols of love can be twisted into omens of doom. Tonight, we've journeyed through the darkest corners of Valentine's Day, from the blood-stained petals of a killer's calling card to letters from beyond the grave, from a serial murderer preying on lovers to infamous moments in history that transformed a day of romance into an arena of horror. And then there is the cursed effigy, a silent testament to love's potential for betrayal and sorrow. Here on Faceless Folklore, we believe that every Teleno, no matter how disturbing, is a reminder that the boundary between love and terror is often perilously thin. If these stories have sent shivers down your spine, share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Perhaps your own encounter with the uncanny will become our next tale. Until we meet again, keep your eyes open and your heart guarded, for on nights like these, even the promise of love may hide the most unspeakable of horrors.